Hey, how's it going? I just want to say thank you for doing all this, and I really appreciate
That's
it.
Bob and Doug McKenzie, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah.
I'm glad you caught that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I did a Facebook poll.
Yeah.
Some people who are like familiar with your work, and a question kind of rose to the top, like just right out of the blue. It was spectacular. And what it was, you didn't really touch it here, but you touched it a bit in your lectures. It was about integrating the shadow.
Yep.
And one of the main questions was, how does one go about that, especially in the modern world? You know, like we're usually sheltered from anything resembling that kind of concept. You know, we don't engage like the unknown. We don't come into life or death situations, most of us, unless we work as like an ambulance, you know.
Well,
how does
that's
one
one
do-
thing you can
Yeah.
do. Well, that is one thing you can do.
Yeah,
You know,
be a
is that you
paramedic.
you can search out experiences that put you there. That's
terrifying,
you know, because you can do that as a volunteer, for example. I mean, you can. One of the things I saw once, it was in Montreal. I was in this outdoor mall in Montreal on St. Hubert, and I saw this great big 17-year-old kid, you know, and he had a mohawk and he was dressed in leather and with studs, and like he was doing the modern barbarian thing, and he had it really down. And he was standing in the corner with 2 pink shopping bags, eh? So I was looking at him, and I thought, if someone offered him the opportunity to drop those goddamn sleeping bags or shopping bags and go fight with ISIS, he'd be there in a second.
Yeah.
Right, because what the hell is some monster like that doing standing on the corner of St. Hubert holding 2 pink shopping bags?
Thank you very
So,
much.
I mean, so some of it is that you need to find out where you can push, where you need to find out that edge that you can push yourself against. And it's going to be different for different people. But that's the call to adventure and heroism. And there are life and death situations everywhere around you if you want to involve yourself in them. Now, sometimes that might be like to put yourself together to the degree that you can, say physically or spiritually or intellectually. It could be an intellectual battle. It could be a moral battle. Like the frontier is everywhere. The frontier is just the edge between what you know and what you don't know. You want to put yourself on that damn edge and make yourself into something. And you can retreat into comfort in the modern world. And I think that is a problem. I mean, I've noticed that it's one of the pathologies of wealth, I would say, because one of the problems with being relatively wealthy if you're a parent is that you cannot provide your children with necessity. And that's a big problem because they need necessity to call them into being. And, if you don't have a lot of material resources and your children ask you for something, you can say no because no is the answer. It's like, no, we can't do that. But if you can say yes, then it's really hard to say no because then you're just arbitrary. Well, I don't know. It's like Kierkegaard said, there will come a time when we have so much security and comfort that what we'll want more than anything else is deprivation and challenge. And I think that's particularly what young men want. Now, I think that's partly because young women, they're stuck with that anyways. Because they have to, it's the necessity of living in the world and the responsibility of infant care in particular. Like, that occupies them. Men have to do it voluntarily. Women now too, because of the birth control pill, but that's 30 years ago. We hardly have to talk about that at all yet. So,
Thank you so much.
Yeah.